variable. For example, economic model y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x1 plus beta 3 x3 like that. But econometric model include y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x1 plus beta 3 x2 plus error term. It is included. That is the econometric model. It is explaining other uncontrolled variable also included. That is the econometric.
You are 100% right. Since it is from different background, I am not using any equations. I am not using anything else to make you feel comfortable. The moment I use equation y equal to a plus b, this is functional relationship, this and that, then things become more complicated. So I am trying to avoid all this. You are exactly right. We start with that only in econometrics. I am trying to make it how to understand the econometrics who doesn't know about economics at all. So here we have the students who doesn't know economics at all. So trying to understand econometrics to economics people, sometimes you find it difficult. So here we have a group of people where majority are not known much to economics. So that is the reason not using all this. It's good what you are saying is right. Is any other explanation in the book? Same. In similar. Okay, we'll move on. I hope I'm making any sense. Next one is recently with the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning, algorithms, okay, are emerging that can create more accurate model and forecast than econometric approaches. Here, I think here I've written the definition of algorithms. What it says, I think I've written. This begs the question of whether econometric, I think I've defined algorithm in the next section. So this raises the question of whether econometrics and econometries will retain their relevance in future. Okay, econometrics. This is the textbook definition of econometrics. What econometrics means? Econometrics combines economics, statistics, and mathematics. Okay. Economics gives hypothesis or theory, whatever it may be. With that hypothesis, with the help of statistics and mathematics, those will be, we have in a functional form. We establish a functional relationship. So when we establish functional relationship, which functional relationship? The functional relationship based on economic theory, based on economic phenomena. While setting a functional relationship, we take the help of mathematics and statistics. As we say, once a functional relationship is formed. For example, the profit is a function of this. Profit equal to f of that. Or as you say, profit equal to what is alpha plus x is the one variable, beta 1 plus x1 and so on. So this is the econometrics combines economics, statistics and mathematics to analyze and test economic theories and models. Right? It uses, this is most important. What econometrics uses? It uses observed data. It uses observed data to the model or economic relationship, enabling econometrics to, with help of this observed data, what econometrics does is, he quantifies these relationships and makes certain forecast. Okay. Then artificial intelligence. It refers to simulations of human intelligence. It is simulations of human intelligence process by a computer system. These processes includes, amongst others, learning, reasoning, problem solving, in language understanding. Artificial intelligence can be categorized into two types. Narrow artificial intelligence, which is designed to perform specific tasks. The narrow artificial intelligence does through help of algorithms, with help of given instruction, it carry out certain specific tasks. Okay, and general artificial intelligence, which can perform any intellectual task akin to a human. Okay, through human intelligence, certain tasks being carried out. So same thing is done by the artificial intelligence. So here artificial intelligence carried out the task akin to human in a through algorithm model. What I said is through given instruction. Then come the machine learning. and try to understand how machine learning is different than artificial intelligence. So machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which automates the analytical model building process. Then it empowers computers, this is important, it empowers computers to discover hidden pattern. We try to discover hidden pattern and insights without explicitly programming the approach to data. This is the the new area research in the computer science itself. Many people are trying to jump in to understand and carry out certain things in the machine learning. What it does, it empowers the computers itself to want to discover hidden patterns. You might have heard the black box. Where you heard the black box? In the flight, there is black. Yeah. See what that black box does is it carries out certain things. In the sense, it try to detect how that everything about the flight, including the flight pilot, how he does a mistake, how even in your the new cars, the all advanced cars, they have all these things. You have to be very careful. When you go to the insurance, in claiming insurance, so that box gives you how good you are in driving. It gives you the percentage. So whether you are bad driver or good driver, it will if that percentage is very low, you will fail to claim the insurance. That it gives that himself is not good. You may be knowing or not knowing the recent cars, you can check it. So it gives you a fast history. That machine gives you fast history. That this is the. But the problem with that machine is it considers all the roads are safe. If you are driving in Subhas road, the machine doesn't find out that you are driving in a PG road because others have done the mistake. That black box, whichever it is in the car or plane, you try to find out unnecessarily. You have went to the first gear, second gear. It carries out that. So we operate the whatever it gave on the basis of the things which are happening in front of us. So that is not carried by the machine. Are you getting the point? It simply it try to catch up. Okay, he is not carrying certain given task. Problem. In which road he is driving? What is the condition of road? Whether road is good or bad, or any unexpected things are happening. So that is not discovered by this thing. When you read all those things, we don't find this thing. So this is what we see. How we can differentiate the machine learning from certain tasks we carried out in the econometrics. So it empowers computers to discover hidden pattern and insight without explicitly programming the approach to the data. So this is the new thing which you notice in the machine learning. And in artificial intelligence, as stated, it carries out certain things with a given instruction. Here, the machine learning, what it does is, as I said just now, it discovers hidden patterns and insights without explicitly programming the approach to the data. Okay, I hope it is appealing to everyone. Since machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence dedicated to constructing models that reflect underlying reality for future predictions, holds significant implications for the field of econometrics. It will be our primary focus of today's discourse.
Sir, just like AI websites like ChatGPT and all, do we have some websites for machine learning?
Yes. It is emerging field. Machine learning, it is entering into the all field. I think you might have experienced many things. Nowadays, you can carry out domestic work sitting in New York. If your home is at Dharwaad, sitting in New York, you can carry out domestic work at your home in based in Dharwad. Mopping or job, whatever it may be. I was watching yesterday. One of my uncle was showing me I can clean my house in New York itself by sitting in Dharwad. Carrying out certain tasks. Whether if you want to clean the corner side, then it used to go to the corner side, and if you switch off the button, it used to back where it was earlier station. and it is getting charged on its own. If any obstacles, it was finding the way on its own. No housemates are required. It's a good news for them. And day by day the cost is also declining. Earlier it was 50,000, 60,000. Now it has come down to 15,000, 20,000. So what we call in simple what robot, right? Yes. Any addition or any questions? Yes, please. If you ask questions, it helps others also. Okay, so this is what we follow in econometrics. I think I have already explained some of the things. So what what econometrics actually does is, so first some theory or some hypothesis is stated. So in economics, we take example of consumption and income relationship. You may be all know that consumption depends on income. There is one theory in economics. So famous Keynes has given, this is what we call psychological law of consumption. As income increases, consumption also increases, but less than increase in income. But this hypothesis or theory has immense use in economic policy making. Okay, if you quantify this, not only it helps how consumption depends on income, it also tells us, for example, if my FPC, what we call it, the quantification is of this kind, on this basis, how much GDP I can increase. Okay, on this basis, we can predict, if you take the consumption income relationship of an entire country, on that basis, we can predict the GDP of the country. This is what the word prediction is most important here. So if you predict the GDP of this kind on basis of consumption, you may come across where if I increase the consumption a little bit, if I increase the income a little bit by taking some policy, consumption also increases. When consumption increases, country's GDP also increases. Country GDP increases to increase the economic activities. That we need to understand. The GDP is number which has a larger, the meaning. Some of you may be saying that increase in GDP by 6 to 7%, what it means? 6 to 7% has a large meaning with that. That 6 to 7% increase takes place with huge increase in economic activity. The huge increase in economic activity involves providing employment opportunities, avenues for new investment, avenues for some other economic activities. Okay, so this is how they have used policy implications. The results, the quantification of these results have used policy implications. So what we do in econometrics is we first state the theory or state the economic phenomena. This is what we call the statement of economic theory. For example, consumption is a consumption income relationship. This is what I said just now. So once that particular statement is written or given, the next one is our objective is to quantify it. Then with help of mathematicians, with help of mathematics background, we try to write a functional form with help of equation. Okay, so those who are well versed in various forms of equations. So understanding various forms of equations is very important here. Once you know the various forms of equation, and that the theory can give a suitable mathematical model. What he said, establishing mathematical relationship. For example, let us say consumption C equal to F of income. Okay, this is called mathematical equation. So what it says here is, as I said in the beginning, consumption depends on income alone. Nothing more than that. This is called deterministic relationship. Deterministic relationship talks about that 100%, that consumption depends on income and income alone, nothing more than that. But in reality, you don't find that consumption depends on income alone. Consumption also depends on other than income. We do not know sometimes. Here, in this example, we will be knowing that other than income, these are variables may influence the consumption. We come across where it's very difficult to find the other variables which influences the variables which we are trying to study. That is what we call dependent variable. See, we don't know what are the other variables. So when we do not know what are other variables, this becomes non-deterministic relationship. We cannot exactly tell. Then we have to find a suitable model which takes care of other variables. This is what we call in econometrics, and we are saying adding the certain variable which takes care of all the variables. This is what we call in econometrics error term. Okay, the moment we add error terms, this becomes non-deterministic relationship. So the third step is specification of appropriate econometric model to the statement of economic theory. Okay, as you are saying, madam, profit depends on these variables. So profit is a function of these. That become a mathematical function, mathematical model. So that's called deterministic relationship. That we need to convert into econometrics model. How we convert into econometrics model? Since the relationship is not deterministic, so we need to add certain what we call a random term. Because why it is called random? We do not know how many variables which are there. Okay, so this random term has a applications of probability. I hope I am not entering into more technical. Why it's called random variable? Because it is based on certain probability applications. To give a simple example, so when you throw a coin, okay, this is called random experiment. When you throw a coin, we do not know whether it turns out to be tail or head. Okay, but we are sure that it is either tail or head. There is 50% chance. Okay. See, since the variable which I talked about, random variable, it has based on certain probability. It has certain probability features. So I'm not going to go technical here. Just to make you understand, so we convert that mathematical function into econometrics model. That becomes econometric model, from where we try to quantify the given task with help of data. With help of data, with help of suitable econometrics model, we make the estimation. So what kind of estimation we make? Our interesting task here is to quantify the relationship between consumption and income. That is our given task. Whether consumption depends on income or not, it depends whether our results are consistent with what theory says. What theory says? Consumption increases with increase in income, but increase in consumption is less than increase in income. That is our task to empirically prove. On the basis of results, on the basis of estimation of econometrics model, we try to figure out two things. That how much, for example, if there is an increase in income of 100 rupees, how much consumption increases? Whether consumption increases by 90 rupees, 85 rupees, or more than 100 rupees, that we can make out from the estimation. Okay, that is number one. Number two is, see, when income increases from 100 rupees to 200 rupees, we expect consumption also increase from previous figure to other. So here we try to find out. This is called variation. Okay, that consumption moved from previous number to next number. Income also moved from previous number to next number. So there is a variation in both available. So what we try to find out here is whatever variation changes which occurred in the different variables, say consumption, at what percentage it is influenced by income. In econometrics world, at what extent variation in consumption is due to variation in income. That we can tell in terms of percentage. So for example, if there is a 90% variation in consumption is due to variation in income, it indicates that other 10% variation in consumption is due to other than the income. Okay. So this is what we get the the results of using econometrics model. If I look at only a hypothesis theory that consumption depends on income, here we do not know at what extent the consumption is, at what percentage, or what extent consumption is influenced by income, and how much change in income leads to how much change in consumption, we do not know. And to empirically test, we need to quantify the data. That is most important. To empirically test any economic phenomena or empirically test any economic theory, we have to quantify. So this quantification, how we do? We do on the basis of some what we call taking sample data. For example, if you are testing this hypothesis for entire country, you cannot go to all the people and ask what is your income, what is your consumption. It is not possible. So what we do? We systematically, by applying appropriate sampling technique, we draw certain samples. Remember, these on basis of samples only we got the results. Okay, these samples results may not be 100% precise because these are the sample results. Okay, we are trying to find the results on the basis of samples. But we are predicting it for entire country. On the basis of samples also, we are trying to predict or get the result for entire country. That is our task. So our results, we say that this represents India. But this task is carried out on the basis of sample data. Now coming to the point, so we need to measure, we need to test precision of these results. Because since they are based on sample data, we have to test the precision or preciseness of this result. Then for that we go for hypothesis testing. Right? So the hypothesis testing depends on the variables which you are dealing with. There are many other things which are known. Okay, here as I mentioned, the hypothesis testing we carried out. First one is whether the variation in consumption, which is influenced by variation in income, is statistically true or not. In the sense, my results which I got statistically significant or not. That's one thing. And also we try to see the what we call an economics individual coefficient. As I say, if there is a 100 rupees increase in income, consumption will increase by 90 rupees. So whether this relationship based on sample result statistically true or not, whether it is because we have carried out on the basis of sample data, whether this is precise or not. For these simple tasks, we go for hypothesis testing. I hope you are all with me. Any questions so far? I am making things so simpler. Even without, I am not using any equations, nothing else. Even without economic background, I am trying to make you understand by taking simpler example. I am not using either economics terminology or any econometrics thing. Yes? Because this is very, very important for any social science which I gather. It's not that quantifying is only the work of economics or econometrics. The quantifying everything, whatever you come across in sociology, anthropology or political science, this quantitative methods is entering into all social science subjects. Psychology, depending on the nature of the variable, depending on the nature of the theory and whatever it may be, you apply certain quantitative techniques. In psychology, the way psychologists go, they are quite different. The way the imagined people use applications are quite different. The whole idea of using the quantitative techniques is to quantify. When you quantify, you can tell in exact numbers. When you quantify it, you can tell. This quantification is based on certain sampling. The sampling result may not be true all the time. So how much they are precise. So that comes to the picture of hypothesis testing. Okay. From hypothesis testing, we come to know that whether my results are precise or statistically significant. Then we go for further prediction of the things which are interested. After that, there is end of it, in the sense that we can tell that relationship with help of some numbers. Then it has, as I said, depending on the study which you make, so it impact maybe to the society or for policy makers. So this is how things go. So this is what we carry out things in econometrics. This is what we call methodology of econometrics, right? Yes. Anything else? So for the discuss, please. Yes, I hope. Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever we come to CMDR, we feel that we are in the upper area. And yes, yeah, any questions?
So henceforth I got what it is.
You got it. Very nice. Good. Yes.
Draw the mathematical model is nothing.
Sir? Sorry, madam?
Draw the mathematical models out of on the basis of hypothesis is nothing but the econometrics. It's based on econometrics.
Yes.
So I got it.
Hypothesis, we go for testing the precision of the, the numbers we got are estimated figures. Okay. So precision is most important. Yes? Any questions? You are from which background?
Political science.
Political science. See, nowadays, the quantitative methods is used by everyone, right? So every year, there is a one political science research institute at Simla. So they conduct the course every year, twice in a year, the quantitative methods in political science, quantitative methods in sociology. And anthropology people, psychology people, they have been using. That is not a problem, but in different way, that I agree. So these are things completely new to you, this thing?
First time.
First time, okay. So please ask the questions. It's not something which is not cracked by anyone. It can be, making to understand is not a big thing. Actually doing things is difficult, I agree. For example, I can easily tell how to drive a car. You will have to understand. It is very easy. Take a chavi and start and going. That much I hope you understand everyone. But if I ask you to drive yourself, then it's a most difficult task. So that means if I ask to perform some economics model, it may be difficult. But understanding, I don't think any difficulty here. Yes? Oh God, we are just, we are just the beginning. So nothing to worry. So whatever is possible, we'll cover. Not much is left. I think I have almost covered 70%. I'm trying to. So we'll continue after tea break.
Should I say mathematical model बनाना है that is
Keep asking different
no, I know you were saying ulta.
No.
So when I do this thing, it becomes econometrics. So once I set the econometrics model, I will make some simulations, I get some results. After getting results, these results tells that it predicts whatever the things which are interested. So together they tell so this much of percentage the variation in leadership is influenced by these. In terms of quantity it tells. It can be used in any thing. But usually since it is these are all my assumptions. This is maybe carried out in political science also. But these are all based on certain statistical tools. Right?
In political science, for example, can you say chances of getting elected depends on the wealth of the candidate.
See, what we see is, since you have opened this discussion that the chances of getting elected depends on wealth. Okay? See, we are a scholar. We should whatever things we try to quantify it should be based on certain theory. You should not quantify whatever things which are in our mind. If any theory says that winning the election is the sole instrument for wealth, then we have to test it. Okay, that is the thing. So this is a problem what we see in the young researcher is without any support of theory, they try to establish a relationship. So even in any discipline, or it may be sociology, political science, anthropology, economics, without any theoretical background, theoretical base, or some seminar work is carried out. There will be some seminar work carried out at the some other level, but that can be used to empirically test in our region. So those are things what I cannot take. See, if it is really true, so before using it as a final or considered as the right variable, we have to share with your peer groups. Sharing the peer group is not sharing with the friends. You need to publish in the seminar journals, scholarly journals. Scholarly journal is a journal which is read by the experts. They should have the acceptance that okay, this can be used. That winning the ability of a candidate depends on wealth. If they all experts agree to that, then you have to cite. This is what the meaning of citation. So this variable which I have planned, published in the solar journal. So there is a good acceptability. These are also cited. Now you can use it for. Once it is acceptable at the whole world general level, then your things become theory itself. If it is not done, if it is not dealt earlier, it doesn't mean that it should not, but it should have accepted. This is how theories have been formed. Theories cannot be formed on their own. Remember, any theory or any political scientist, socialist, he has not become great sitting in a room. They first share with their idea. Okay, let us consider this is your idea that election depends on the wealth. This idea may be completely new. This new idea should be shared with the academic world, not with sharing the academic world not through phone or discussion, through publication. So this your idea published at a global level. There is a reactions to your idea. Some may say that it is a good idea, maybe done. Some may say that it is a bullish idea, a nonsense idea, should not carry out such things, should be rejected. Even that experts himself say that this is bullish idea, which should not be published at all. It's not worth to publish. It creates problem in society. Even they take that decision also. That idea may be completely new to you, maybe sounds to you, but when you send it for publications, that it will be sent to the experts who are experts in the field for the last 30-40 years. They may take a decision, outrightly reject this bullish idea, whatever may be good writing, whatever may be original quality, whatever the things are good. No, this is not a worth idea to be published. And they may take a decision, it's a wonderful idea, need to publish, need to discuss in the academic circle itself. Whether to accept it, at least it is worth to discuss, debate in the academic circle. Then it starts discussing in the academic circle. In the debate, it come out with the result that is a wonderful idea, then it becomes a theory. Okay. Then this your theory, let us assume that this is what you are saying, started empirically testing. So when it empirically tested, the results whether proves what your theory says or not. So this is how the journey of establishing a theory or coming out with a theory. When all these things happen, then this will become a syllabus for the textbook. Unless that it won't come to the textbook also. Then it becomes a syllabus for the textbook, then students start studying. So this is how the history, whatever theories you study, they are all long, the history of publications, right? So since you ask questions, my only suggestion to all youngsters, don't suddenly jump into whatever idea you have, simply write and because you may get the award, because no one is there to read and no one is to comment on that. It may happen, So don't jump into unless it has any supportive or seminal works on this. Okay. Right?
Sir, we can use non-parametric tests in other social sciences.
Yeah, definitely. Whether you use parametric, non-parametric, that is secondary. Before testing, see whether it has a theoretical background. Even you choose a variable, you should have a theoretical background to that. As I said in the beginning, only I said econometrics has started to use empirical test the given theory and quantify the economic phenomena. The word economic phenomena itself clearly says that without any economic relationship, the economic relationship is supported by seminal work or some empirical research carried out at the global level. Then only you have to choose. I cannot choose sitting here some variable, something else. Okay, that is the thing we need to understand. Then comes with test is suitable for, depends on the nature of the variable. If it is a quantitative variable, you have certain series of tests. Okay, all those things, there is a long way to discuss. So, yes? Anything to add to this? Whatever, question you have raised, we will add more part. Question number 3. Yes? Because what we are witnessing is the researchers just whatever comes to their mind start writing without whether it is without using any citations, without using any base for it. Right? I don't think all these are required. I think we have just upon. Start is a branch of computer system. Okay. These are examples. Early history is not required. Current status, I think many of you know. Where? Yes, please.
With respect to choosing between quantitative and qualitative, sometimes our studies are more behavioral of this thing. Better to avoid quantitative. How to make a choice between everything, as you rightly pointed out, no need of using equations or this thing. Theoretical idea will be there, but there will be just force attitudes, beliefs, behavior, that will have serious impact on the economic thing.
Yes.
So how can we optimally use between those?
Yeah, you asked a very good question. I have not said that one should not use equations. I am not bombarding with equations because many of us know non-economic background. Formation of equation, when you quantify hypothesis is very important. You have to form equations. As you ask the questions, when you come across a variable, both you have mixed qualitative and quantitative. Similarly, she has also asked the question. So there are a set of ready-made tools in econometrics or whatever the discipline you are, whether you are in psychology or your
Economics.
Okay, so the suitable econometrics model you have to use.
I was asking from the perspective of this qualitative methods, like grounded theory or content analysis.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
SEM structure.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling. If there are qualitative variables, there are set of econometric tools.
The variable we will use.
There are many. The econometrics is there are n number of books. I am talking about ABC of econometrics, nothing more than that. Whatever test is alphabets. You are asking a question how to write an essay. So there are when you question of writing the essay, there are many things to follow. There are the basics. What I am saying is simply basic. We start with the first chapter of econometrics starts with this only. That too, the elementary one. So what you are saying, it all depends on. There are many tools, econometrics tools can be applied. All depends on the nature of the qualitative, quantitative, binary. Okay, you might have come across measurement of scale. You can classify. No, I have not speak all these things. Ratio scale. If there is a ratio scale, there are set of econometrics tools. Then what are other things? Nominal scale is there. Ratio scale, nominal scale. Then ordinal scale. One more.
4 types of scale. Nominal, ordinal, ratio.
Yeah. So this is how we classify. The reason for classifying is to try to understand which quantitative tools, which economic tools is suitable to this. Then next comes formation of equation, whether relationship is linear, non-linear, quadratic. Then on that basis we set the suitable equation. This is how it goes. Okay. Okay, I think pros and consequences of AI and ML is not required. These are all, usefulness of AI and ML says precise, precision and accuracy, then space exploration used in mining process and all these things. You can see. Then consequences, we no need to discuss. Okay. So, this is the thing we are interested. Methodological difference between artificial intelligence and econometrics. So far we have understood what is AI, what is ML and what is econometrics. As I begin my lecture saying that there is apprehension that the AI and ML are encroaching the field of econometrics. They have become, a challenging task for the econometrician. How to survive the subject, or how to make use of applications of MI and ML in econometrics, and how to convince the machine learning process that without base of econometrics, without base of theory, you cannot make any simulations. That is the whole idea of discussing. It's a very elementary beginning. There are a series of things we can discuss about this. There is, there was 1 month refresher course only on this application of artificial intelligence in economics. That too in IJ, that too it was there for 10 years ago. Just imagine how things are developed by now. Now it has become a syllabus for many standard universities in the econometrics syllabus. Okay. And it's very challenging, upcoming things who are interested, who are having good background of econometrics, want to technique, and good enough to understand this software and all, so they can make use of this new application. Okay, let us see the methodological difference between AI and econometrics. What I did, what it gives understanding is methodological differences. How AI and ML, what kind of methodology they use to quantify the data, to predict, and what methodology econometrics do, how they can do, they are doing it independently. So our task here is how to make complementary each other, how they can do these things jointly. Okay. Econometrics and machine learning follow different methodological paradigms. They follow, so far they are following different methodological for trying to find a solution to the same problem. Methodology is different. Okay. Econometrics models are typically anchored in economic theory. Okay. Typically, any econometrics model anchored the economic theory with a model specification. We state the theory, then make the model specification, and apply the certain hypothesis, then get the results and establish the relationship. This is what methodology we follow in econometrics. On the other hand, machine learning tends to be more data centric. It is more of data centric. Okay, if you give the data and given the task, find the mean, it will tell this is the mean. It doesn't tell about what are the outliers. It doesn't tell about how your mean value is, how the rest of the values are spread around your mean value. Whether your mean is statistically significant, whether your mean is a good representative of population mean. It doesn't tell anything in machine learning. Are you getting my point? I am taking the simplest example. When you get the mean manually, you have the data, you can see that, okay, this is my mean marks. So how the others marks are, surrounding your mean value, or how the others marks near or far away to your mean marks, talking about marks of the students. Okay, and you can also find out are there any outliers, means whether are any big, the numbers is far away from the mean. All these things you find, but in machine learning it's not possible because it operates with a set of instructions. So conversely, machine learning tends to be more data centric. It empowers algorithms to learn directly from the data. I think algorithm definition I have given. What is algorithm? A process or set of rules to be followed in calculations. In algorithms, there are set of things, there are set of rules which help. It follows only that. It followed in calculations or other problem solving operations, especially by a computer. You give a set of instructions to computer, it exactly does. Okay. It doesn't do whatever I said so far. Computer also calculate the mean, I also calculate. But what we calculate mean, how we look at the mean, how that artificial intelligence look at the mean is completely different. I hope it makes sense. So why I am focusing on this thing? It has become a challenging task for a social scientist. Nowadays, people are, you might have come across no need of studying economics, no need of this, because everything is done by machine learning. Do you agree that even robot also in Nagoor, they also cook? So it doesn't mean that learning how to cook is not required. I hope I'm making sense. Nowadays, everything is done by machine. No need to how to cook and no need to practice nothing. So this has become a challenge for social scientists. Convince, of course, we must appreciate those who are involved in all these things. But that is not the whole thing. You must appreciate the robot that it does the certain task. It saves my time, but it doesn't mean that I should not learn it. You just imagine the future. If you do not learn the cook, only everything depends on comfort. We cannot differentiate the taste of what it does. Similarly, it has become challenging for a social scientist that no need to do everything. Everything is done by the machine. When people talk about no need to write a thesis, it is the computer does. You give data to computer, it analyzes, you produce in your thesis. That is the end of it. Are you getting my point? Everything is done. Even no need to go for review of literature. If you give your title, all these things comes and take and compile and this is your review. No, this is not. Of course, we appreciate. But unless we do manually, the whole idea of the learning process is know yourself. Okay. Even when you go to the driving school, you can see in the machine that this is the way to drive. That is not end of it. You can also drive in a machine. So that is not that is not enough to drive on your own when it comes to driving your own car, your road. That is how it has become a challenging for the social scientists, particularly. The question are to tell about how the manual and understanding things are very, very essential. Okay, the second para, the complex inner working of many machines learning models often referred to as a black box, as I referred in the morning. What black box do? Black box, due to their hidden nature, black box with a lot of hidden nature, may seem contradictory to the transparent theoretical approach in econometrics. So this itself is enough to understand. Whatever the process, whatever we do in econometrics is more of transparent. The result which you get is based on transparent methodology. The black box also gives the result. The econometrics models also give the results. In the black box, the things are hidden. You get the results, but how that is carried out, you don't know. Okay. Then another different. This is the one of the main methodological difference between AI predicted result and predicted result on the basis of econometrics model. I hope you understood this one. Simplest way to understand this is we follow transparent methodology or transparent theoretical approach. The meaning of transparent theoretical approach is our model is built upon certain theory. But machine learning cannot understand whether the data built upon certain theory or it makes any sense. And the result which you get is completely as we see in the results in the black box. Alright? However, there is a difference can also be seen at an advantage. Let us, what is the advantage of machine learning here? Machine learning excels at discovering intricate pattern and non-linear relationship in a large data set. This is quite difficult for traditional econometricians to looking into each and every minute in a systematic way. Whenever you come across a non-linear relationship, so that can be done by machine learning. So which can be challenging, as I said, it can be challenging for traditional econometric model to look into such kind of intricate pattern and non-linear relationship. Because the traditional economic model often rely on linear and predetermined structure. So this is what we can see. The one advantage of machine learning. So machine learning, which is subset of artificial intelligence. How it is different from artificial intelligence? Machine learning, though there are set of instructions, on the basis of its past learning, on the basis of its past mistake, it overcomes its past mistake and try to, give a result which are expected. Okay. The problem with traditional econometrics model are most of the time rely on linear structure, linear relationship, and also certain predetermined structure. Okay, without predetermined structure, as I said, we cannot construct a model. But machine learning, it goes beyond this. So some of the economic students can understand this one more. That what is non-linear relationship and what is interesting pattern. Okay. At the base of it, econometrics and machine learning share a common goal. So what is the common goal of machine learning in econometrics? That is to build a predictive model. Both are used to build a predictive model for a variable of interest. As I gave so much of example, leadership example is one of the variable interest. Consumption is one of the variables which are interested. So using explanatory variable, using independent variables. This is simplest.
It is a question out of the box. Sir, in analysis, in any of the study, can we use factor and regression altogether?
This is regression only.
Yes, sir. This is regression.
I'm not using the word regression because whatever word I enter, the audience must be familiar to that. Some may not be familiar with the word regression in itself. May not be familiar. That is the reason I'm not using all this.
Sir, in any study, can we use factor analysis and regression analysis?
Yeah, definitely.
Altogether.
See, factor analysis is a different branch of econometrics. It is mainly used in psychology or in the business studies. Not able to reconnect. How do you say, like some give you example of tree and all these things, isn't it? I'm not able to.
So we collect some certain variables and we segregate those variables into certain factors. Then on the basis of factor loadings, we calculate how much these.
Yes, same thing we are telling you the variables.
Sir, can we use factor and regression?
Yes. Base for factor analysis is regression only. Okay, the base for factor analysis is regression only. Unless you understand regression, you cannot understand. See, this is what we worry about econometricians. See, in business, whatever you say, whether it is any sense or based on any theory or any phenomena, you run the regression. Okay. In business, what we see, you don't see whether is there any whatever things you are interested is based on any theory or any citation or any phenomena, you don't see.
So there is very less theory, based theories on which we can run or stimulate or rather simulate any exercise of these kind of models. Or
this is what I am telling you.
so every time we need to discover our models and we need to apply the separator, mathematical quadratic or binomial. So one is quadratic and other
This is what I said in the beginning. In the beginning I said the reason for origin of econometrics is to Empirical test in theory and quantify the economic phenomena. Today, what you are saying, good example that econometrics is its name is also getting changed. Financial econometrics, they say. What you are saying is financial econometrics. The financial econometrics, they don't see whether the simulations which are making, the models which are built, having any based theory or any economics, they don't see. They simply choose the variables and have a data, as you say that choose the various factors and run and follow certain methodology and interpret results.
So in our subject of specialization, we don't have any theory as a base to test and.
So this is what not expected. So see, we econometrics, so we say that this is not expected that econometrics will enter into all the branches. The econometrics had its own limitations, looking at its origin of history. Econometrics was simply originated to these things. Now it is taking into all these things. But whether it is right or wrong is a debatable issue, and this is not a forum. But you can. What your question is, it is based on regression. Back to the analysis, whatever you are saying. Yes, any other questions?
So as economics is based on numbers only, it is easier to build theory and run the models. While in other science or other field of study, it is difficult to do.
Okay. On the base of it, econometrics and machine learning share a common goal, that is to build a predictive model for a variable of interest, that is variable of dependent variable, using independent variable, say exponential variables. However, the two fields have developed in parallel, thus creating two different cultures. Meaning that though the goal is same, but they are following different methodology, different culture. What is that different culture? Econometrics set out build probabilistic models designed to describe economic phenomena. Remember, all our econometrics models are built on the basis of probabilistic approach. Okay, probabilistic approach is the base for any econometrics model. So that we need to understand. So this is how, madam, in the difference between the econometrics which are used in business and econometrics which are used in economics. Whether your model has any probability future or not, they don't see it. In business research, they don't see whether the model which are dealing with, whether it is having any probability future or not. But in economics, without any probability future, we cannot run any economics model. Okay. This is what they clearly mention. So the econometrics set out to build probabilistic model designed to describe economic phenomena, while machine learning uses algorithms. Okay, this is a huge difference. See, the simplest way to define probability can even define the most simplest definition of probability where everyone can understand.
The chance of the occurrence of any event
Sorry?
out of the all possible number of events.
Sorry?
So it's the chance of occurrence of any event out of the all possible number of events.
Yes, I expect everyone to understand in a qualitative way. ಏನಮ್ಮ MA-ದಾಗೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಲು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಲು. You define what is probability.
Chance of getting.
No, it must be understood everyone. What I am telling is that all probability models are dependent on probability. But machine learning does the simulation through algorithms. So what is algorithms? As I say, algorithms is nothing but there are some set of instructions. It does on that basis. It tells these are the things it has to do. Okay, these probabilities. Yes, anyone can define what is probability and how the probabilistic approach is used here. because all hypothesis testing is depend on theory and probability. See, my understanding is, the probability results are unknown, but result is certain. Yes, when you throw a coin, result is certain, but result is not known. Okay, that is the first task. Once we got the results, we have to check the precision of the result, whether the result is due to chance or it is having some statistical significance or it is occurred under certain statistical framework. Right? So that the question of application of inferential statistics come into the picture. So on all econometrics models, even your time series data, you check it, even your time series data also considered as sample data. Generally we say that econometrics that your panel data and all other data are sample data, but even your time series data also sample data. So all econometrics models we run based on your probability theory. Again, welcome to back to probability theory. The results are sure, but are not known. Okay. So once we got the result, we believe that, but it is not 100% sure. At what extent it is precise, then your level of significance, all these things come into the picture, right? So, but in machine learning, it uses algorithms capable of learning from their mistake. Generally, for classification purpose, they are given sound, images. Yet in recent years, learning models have been found to be more effective than traditional econometrics method. As you are saying that in business also they are learning many models. So learning models have been found to be more effective than traditional econometric method. And are above all capable of handling much larger data sets. In the traditional econometric model, as I given the matrices, they were the simulations were carried out with a traditional approach. But today, econometricians, it has become a challenge for them to need to understand. Just a minute. Now the econometricians are capable of handling much larger data. Now, given this, econometricians need to understand what the two cultures are. This is the question of debate, as I said, you also raised, that we in econometrics were talking about any model you use depend on this and that. So now question comes, when you have a large data sets, which neither depends on any theory, doesn't have any economic theory, how do you quantify? This is what the task of before the econometrician. Okay. We also see, given this, econometrician that capable of handling much larger data set, given this, econometrician need to understand what the two cultures are, that following traditional econometrics method and machine learning. So we need to understand these two cultures. So what difference is there, and above all, what they have in common in order to draw on tools developed by statistical learning community with a view of incorporating them into econometrics model. So this is very, very important to understand. What are these two different cultures? One followed by machine learning and the econometrician, and what they are, how they are different, and most importantly, what is common in both in order to draw to form a certain with help of statistical learning community to form into econometrics models. Right? I hope you understood this. Okay, this is the difference. Prediction and explanation. What machine learning do is it predicts, but it doesn't explain. The pure econometrics model, it does both. It predicts and also gives the explanation. If, for example, robot cooks, but how it is cooked, if you ask the robot, it doesn't know. Right? one of the primary distinctions between machine learning and econometrics lies in their objective. Machine learning predominantly focuses on predictive accuracy. They are very much focused on how my predicted results are accurate. Okay, machine learning predominantly focuses on predictive accuracy. These are the predicted result. This is the real result. Okay, how far my predicted result is nearer to actual result. This is what the machine learning is very much interested. They try to have more accuracy, more precision between the actual result and the predicted result. But process here is hidden. Process is not transparent. So this is done through algorithms. Its algorithms aim to minimize the difference between. This is what I said so far. Its algorithms aim to minimize the difference between predicted and the actual outcome, often sacrificing interpretability in the process. They are not interested in how to interpret the results. Okay. Machine learning models excel in the underlying. Machine learning models excel in optimizing the predictions. As I said, machine learning are very much interested in optimizing prediction, making it more precise, often without requiring a deep understanding of the underlying data relations. They are interested only in this one, whether my results are precise or try to minimize the difference between actual results and predicted results, without looking into interpreting part, without looking into explanation part. The best example is a food cooked by the robot. If you ask the robot how you cook, what is the process, can you make more spicy next time, it cannot explain. It doesn't know, isn't it? So this is what machine learning. I hope this example gives you better understanding. It may sometimes robot may cook better than better than who actually. How do you say that? Yeah, good chef. It may be better than good chef, but good chef know that what is the process. Good chef know how to change the next time. But today, machine learning is also doing the same thing. I don't know how it can. Again, when you use the word algorithms, so again the algorithms operate with a set of given pattern, in the set of given instructions. Okay.
So I think machine learning is more being used in sciences to set the number of experiments in line.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So this is what the whole idea. So econometric social science study is not done in a laboratory, not done in a machine. Of course, you can make use of these things, definitely, no doubt about that. But applications and deep understanding, explanation part is very much required. So that is the order of today's discussion. Machine learning models excel in optimizing prediction, often without requiring deep understanding of the underlying data relationship. For example, they can accurately predict the events. In contrast, what econometrics does, econometrics is primarily concerned with understanding and interpreting relationship between the variables. Our concern is not just to get the result. Our concern is not get the precise result. Our concern is to understand the process and also interpret the results, interpret the relationship. So econometrics model aims to provide insights into the structure of the phenomenon being studied. It gives insight of this, allowing econometrists to make causal inferences and test hypotheses. In machine learning, you cannot have hypothesis testing or any inferences which we can draw from the precision of the result. They simply say that my result is 100% precise. No need to measure my precision. Machine will be surprising that how you test my precision is 100% precise. Okay, so the applications of this hypothesis testing and inferences may not be possible to apply the results which you obtained from the machine learning. So econometrics methods are prepared in investigating causal impact. Example, education and labor market outcomes. So these methods address potential endogeneity issues and provide policymakers with valuable insights for designing effective education and labor policies. So this is may not be possible from the machine learning. It cannot tell what kind of policy making can be carried out. So then what are the complementary each other? Complementary tools are, despite the difference between machine learning and econometrics, they are not mutually exclusive. Can anyone define what is mutually exclusive?
If one occurs, the
Other doesn't occur. Okay. So you are studying in probability. If one does not, if one event occurs, other two things cannot happen simultaneously. Okay. But here they are trying to say that both the things can happen simultaneously. They are not mutually exclusive. Machine learning and econometrics are not mutually exclusive. They can happen simultaneously. In fact, they are complement each other. Okay. So machine learning technique can aid in future selection of econometrics model. This is what they are saying. Machine learning can aid in future selection of econometrics model. How it does? Identifying the most important variables to include. This is how they are looking at what are the complementary between machine learning and econometrics. So what are the applications of machine learning and econometrics can take? On the other hand, econometric techniques can provide a robust theoretical foundation. On the other hand, what econometrics can give to machine learning? It can provide a robust theoretical foundation for machine learning model, significantly enhancing their interpretability and overall robustness. Okay, the machine learning lacks in interpretability and the process. So this can be given or taken from the econometrician and include in their process. Then okay, so how one can bridge the gap? Researchers are increasingly focusing on harnessing the predictive power of machine learning within econometrics. So what the latest research is going on, those who are involved in machine learning, focus on harnessing the predictive power of machine learning within econometrics without compromising the interpretability and theoretical grounds. So without compromising the explanatory part and without compromising the theoretical ground, how to make how to use the machine learning to predict the or get the result without compromising the explanation part and theoretical ground. So now some new the tools have come out, new techniques who can take care of these things. Techniques such as lasso, that is least absolute shrinking and selection operator, and ridge regression, who are capable of doing these things. Originally, birthed in machine learning realm, are now being utilized in econometrics due to their adaptness at managing multicollinearity and selected features. The next bridging gap is additionally the advent of explainable AI. Now you can see the new thing, explainable AI. That results which can be explained. This is what we call explainable artificial intelligence. It represents a promising stride towards bridging this divide. The artificial intelligence endeavors to enhance the interpretability of the decision-making process within machine learning models. So what we are noticing nowadays is understanding the need of explanatory part and the theoretical background. The machine learning have come out with the new tools and techniques which can take care of explanation part and theoretical background. So consequently, it may pave the way for a harmonious blend of machine learning's predictive powers. The whole idea is to strengthen the machine learning predictive power, taking care of explanatory power that is central to econometrics. This is what, even they started with, at the end of the day, they also understood. The results which we got may be precise, but should be based on, our results must be based on some need of explanation, give the explanation, the process, whatever results which we got, and these would be, this explanatory power that is central to the econometrics. Okay? As I said in the beginning, econometrics basically based on, it should be based on certain theories and economic phenomena. So machine learning, if you give any data, it gives the result, but doesn't have any explanatory power or it based on theory. So nowadays, what we notice is, within the machine learning, they are coming out with a new techniques. This is called explainable artificial intelligence or although ridge regression. They are trying to include these things. So any questions so far, whatever I discussed in this slide? Yes?
So what does it mean by ridge regression?
That is the name of the new thing which they have invented. Okay?
So is there
Which takes care. The idea of that tool is, earlier there is a lack of the explanatory power. The results doesn't have any explanatory power and not based on theory. To bridge this gap, as I written in the title, bridging this gap, they come out with some new tools. New tools like lasso, new tools like ridge regression. These have explainable artificial intelligence. Okay. I do not know how they predict through machine learning. Okay. Yes.
Remedial measures.
Huh?
Remedial measures.
Yeah, developing the new the things within the machine learning. Okay. I am teaching you, the driving class based on looking at only in the the machine. This is what. I also do not know what is ridge regression. These are all new tools developed within the machine learning with taking care of explanatory power of the predicted results and also try to have based on certain theory. Yes? Any questions so far? Yes, the last two slides conclusion. In conclusion, the era of artificial intelligence and machine learning has undoubtedly transformed the approach to the data analysis. They carry, the machine learning artificial, they carry out huge data sets, billions of data sets they can carry out within a second. Okay, so there is a dramatic transfer, undoubtedly transfer. There is a large transfer of the learning, the new approach of large data analysis. The power of these emerging technology is undeniable, with their predictive accuracy and the ability to handle large data sets, surpassing traditional econometrics model. That is one advantage of machine learning over traditional econometrics model. However, the role of econometrics remains vital. Even though the machine learning has the capacity of handling huge data sets and all, which may not be possible for any traditional econometrics model. However, the role of econometrics remains vital in our wisdom for understanding and quantifying phenomena, because it emphasis on theory, interpretability, and causal inferences renders it indispensable in making informed policy decisions. Okay, this is where the role of econometrics lies in, and how the econometricians are superior compared to machine learning. This is the advantage of economics over machine learning. So, the joint venture is very much required, that is between machine learning and econometrician. So, as we continue to navigate through the digital age, the relationship between machine learning and econometrics is becoming less pronounced. The two with machine learning and econometrics are increasingly seen as a complementary process. He is contributing unique strength to the field of economic analysis. The integration of machine learning techniques into econometrics and ongoing development of explainable artificial intelligence reflects a promising trend towards harnessing the best of both worlds. This fusion provides an avenue for enhancing predictive capability while maintaining a solid theoretical grounding and interpretability. Okay? So this is how this slide talks about how both can go hand in hand, how both can learn each other to find a better predictive model that machine learning with incorporating interpretability power and theoretical background.
So for the success of these number of techniques in machine learning in science, in the field of science, they started emerging into the social sciences.
Yeah. This is what
affects whether they are applicable in the practical.
Yes, the whole idea of this lecture is to make you create an awareness in coming days. There is an era of AI and ML in social science also. Okay, what is the status? What is the today's status in this regard? That is the whole idea of this lecture. Okay, so whenever now after this lecture, at least I hope whenever things comes in the newspaper, AI and ML. So far we used to think, no, this is not the domain of my study. All AI and ML belongs to science people. Why should I study? Even some people who don't read the title also. Because MI and ML are not my domain. It is the domain of science people, that is software people. No, it is the domain of our. So at least you start reading, okay, about this. Then it becomes a part of syllabus in coming future. After 10 years, it becomes part of the syllabus. Now, many econometrics models, whatever we say today, SPSS, all these things, now it become part of the syllabus. So, it is also become part of syllabus in future. Okay. So, for making econometrics, far from making econometrics irrelevant, the rise would say, in the sense, the AI and ML cannot make econometrics irrelevant. So, the rise of AI and machine learning offers an opportunity to augment econometrics analysis. So together they can augment econometrics analysis and bring new insight to the light. Okay. It is to evolve nature of the field and the adaptability of econometrician. So in this era of artificial intelligence, the relevance of econometrics is not diminishing. So yes. Sorry?
ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಬೋಟ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ನಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಎಕನಾಮಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಥರದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೇಡನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಂತ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಬೆಳೆದಂತೆ
I got your question. Let me finish last two lines, then we'll discuss what you are saying. In this era of artificial intelligence, the relevance of econometrics is not diminished. It is redefined and expanded. So we need to teach econometrics in a different set of way. So there is also going to be change in econometrics syllabus as well. So ready to continue its essential role in understanding the complex world economics. Okay. I think from my side it's over. If there are any questions specific to this, I will take first, then I will come to your question. Yours is more of general in nature. And yes, I hope I make some sense of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and what they do and what is the future, things in this aspect.
Sir, I'll state my experience here. Sir, when I was pursuing my
Please switch on your.
So as I was pursuing my master's in management, we had a paper on database management information systems. it was not on information system. We had to study the database from database and how it is being arranged, the AI, and it's not only its importance in management, how it is being actually practically implemented. So we did lots of practical things there, but I was failed to understand why I'm learning this paper here or studying this paper here. It was out of my level of understanding. I was failed to ascertain the importance of it in my studies. But now after many years, I could be able to recognize, like it's been 8 years, I could be able to recognize the importance of that paper, sir, which I read in my studies. I studied in. Now I realize if I could have studied in greater detail, it would be very beneficial. Yes.
By this time, you would have been expert in that field,
Yes.
and your employability would have been different. You have answer to your question also. Okay, you asked a question about employability. If you would have studied the new things, your employability would have been enhanced. So this is what, whenever new things offers, there is an opportunity. It's a new creation of new jobs. It's not in my opinion, it's not a closing of the or reducing employment. It's a creation of new job for the same set of people. So in the process, we need to understand the new things to increase our employment. The problem with us is we have a set of things in our mind. I need only this job. But answer C is given to your question that if I would have learned that one, you would have been expert in this one. In a sense, your employability would have been.
But at that time, we were not able to grasp it, as many of
Yes.
us were unable to grasp it.
Yes.
5 years studying it at the same level of at the same position I was in.
This is what we say in India. The the lack of awareness among the students. They take long time to come to know what is required. They come to know what I should have studied after completing this study. Okay, I should have studied this thing. See, in our days, in the 1990s, learning basics of computer, those who have the knowledge of basics of computer, their employment was very hard. Just they learned. Today they have become all basics. But they come to know that these things in coming days will help us. They studied computers. I'm talking about 25 years ago. And those days we were talking about what is the use of computer. So the awareness is very, very important. This is where our students lie. Yes. So again, I hope you got the answer. What we say is, it's not, people become unemployed. People have to find a new avenues for the people. Again, people are required to do all these things. For example, robot. Okay, we say that when robot is there is a problem of housemaid, no need of housemaid will come and all. See, there are additional jobs created in the market. Manufacturing of robot creates the new market. In the manufacturing robot, where the unskilled people also required, skilled people also required. Operation of robot and repair of robot. Many economic activities are created when new things are added now. Okay. Take for example, software in banking. It's not given employment only the software engineers. It has given employment for millions of other people, for auto rickshaw people. It has created a new job. It has created a new job for restaurant, buses, taxi. These are all side effects or good effects of, giving job to the software. It's not that only the software people get job and others become unemployed. Those who doesn't know about the software. It's not like that. It creates huge economic activity. Today, you are talking about your research, the feasibility of separate states for Karnataka. Today, Bengalore's revenue has become a feed. It feeds to the entire state, because look at the revenue of Bangalore city. How much revenue Bangalore city? 40% of entire state. Revenue of Bangalore city. It's not because of existence of software. It creates other economic activity. Why so much of economic activity in Bangalore? Because of the new, it is able to absorb the new things. It is able to absorb the new things. Okay.
Sir, with every new technology coming into existence, there is two things to be looked into.
Yes.
Positivity and negativity also.
Yes,
There are
yes.
some people argue that with an improvements of AI, it would be dangerous in the future also. But, are there any studies or some rules made for the country?
Yeah, definitely I got it. For every new thing there is negativity. Okay, but we have to frame a regulations on that. Again, this is what the new concept of economics of regulations.
Yes.
How to have a good regulations over the new things. So again, how strict your regulations. I mean, government rules in simple word to manage all these things. For everything there is some negativity. So we need to form a regulation.
Sorry to interrupt. When the AI came in, actually there was a news stating that around 60 lakh people's personal data was sold in a black market. Personal data, including all the.
I completely agree. Completely agreed. For everything, again come to how good you are in formation of regulations. I mean, your state, your government, how good it is in formation of regulations to overcome what we are saying. And secondly, implementation, punishing those who are that is most important. Today, how the regulations, influences the development of a country. Earlier we never talked about how we were strong enough your judiciary, how we were strong enough your executive, how strong enough your one more organ of the government, legislation, how effective they are. Effective in terms of formation of regulations whenever new things come into picture. India is good for formation of regulations, very weak in implementation. If you are good in both, formation of suitable, effective regulations and implementation, so you can take care of whatever negativity comes. If you are in the world of North Korea, Afghanistan, these are extreme cases. So today, the economics of regulations are widely studied. Earlier we were studying that these are the factors which influences for development of a country. So today there becomes how judiciary you effect, how your judiciary is effectively interpreting and giving the judgment in a fair manner. That also very, very important for the development of the country. And how effective your legislature and executive. So these are becoming new, these are things you have to take up your research work. Okay.
Defense system.
Yeah. So if you look at the research, research topics of the best, we work on these things. How you can make a difference between the country. Why some countries are very much effective because of transparency judiciary. How do you quantify the transparency judiciary? All these things. So we cannot deny, we cannot stop the new things to happen. We need to find the ways how to monitor it, how to control it, how to regulate it. Because we cannot isolate from the world. If India would have been isolated from the software sector, you just imagine now where we were. So we have to go hand in hand. We have to go parallel of things which are happening in the world. We have to, in a situation, to absorb the new things which are happening in the world in the right direction. Because still we have in our mind of that the social kind of thing. So if something changes, it affects me. So we are not in a position yet how to get make use of the new things. Okay. It takes time. Our state is still in the transition zone. It takes another 30-40 years to understand this. If you go to Europe, very fast they catch the new technology. You look at Germany, very small nations, even smaller than Karnataka state. Look at the technology which they use and how fast they learn the new things. How fast they learn. The same employee is very fast in learning the new things because to survive in the market. So here also it takes time, in my opinion. Yes. Almost a year or no year of second lecture. Actually, I prepared 3 lectures. I thought this lecture will be of half an hour or 45 minutes. Close it or shall take 2 lectures? If you have any questions, you can take all this. ಹೌದಾ? Okay. We are prepared. Still, there in the slides are there in the more, or you can take it. One more lecture was plagiarism and ethics is there, and one more lecture was writing a research proposal. Okay. Well, thank you very much for listening, and most importantly, asking the questions and taking part in the discussion. I hope you all benefited from this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for introducing a new topic to us. AI and machine learning, they're known to us, but bringing that topic and joining that econometrics and bringing that topic to the table was something very creative one. We really appreciate your time that you came here and discussed this idea with us. Thank you very much for explaining us as to how to use AI and ML in econometrics, and also how bad it will be as a master if you make it as a master, and we should stay as a master, try to understand the techniques of AI and ML, but stay at the helm of face on ourselves. So on behalf of CMDR, the organizers, the coordinators of this workshop, Dr. Nagoor and Dr. Brahmananda, and on behalf of all participants, I thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you very much.
The